We have been doing the natural resources chapter and we finished three resources. Who's going to tell me what all resources we did till now? Yes, guys.
Air, water, and soil.
Yes, very good, Abraham. We did air, water, and soil. So we'll move further in the chapter. Let me just share the screen as well. Yes. In the previous session, we finished with the natural resource soil, and today we'll start the topic mineral elements. Now, we have some physical resources such as iron, manganese, lime, limestone, zinc, etc., that are also found in nature. Right, we know that all of these physical resources, okay, they are obtained from nature. Now, these elements are useful in our life. These are called mineral elements. All right, the minerals, okay, such elements which are obtained from nature or physical resources which are obtained from nature, such as iron, zinc, etc., all of them are called mineral elements. Now, some mineral elements they are formed by the decomposition of animals and plants for lakhs of years. These are called fossil fuels. What happens now, like I explained before also once, that an animal dies. Okay. Now, what happens that when an animal dies, other microorganisms come to live on its body and they slowly try to eat that up. Okay. And then they eat it up, okay, the skin and everything. It's only the remains of its bones and all that remains. Okay, so now this remains of that animal, that dead animal, now when the wind blows, okay, and due to the various climatic changes that takes place, the layers and layers of soil starts to accumulate on that fossil, on that dead remain. Okay, so now when these layers have accumulated upon that dead remain, there is pressure, okay, creates pressure on it. And under all those layers and under all this pressure and the changing climatic conditions, that remains becomes a fossil, okay, that remain becomes fossil fuels. All right, this is how fossil fuels are created. For example, coal and petroleum. Now, we'll mainly talk about these two fossil fuels here, coal and petroleum. Okay, let's talk about coal. We know that coal is used as a fuel in preparation of food in our homes. This is also used as a fuel to produce electricity. Right, coal is used to produce electricity, to produce heat. Right now, coal is also used in various industries. Now, two types of things are also there which are created with coal. That is coal tar and coal gas. Okay, those are also formed with coal, which are taken into use. Now, three of the components of coal are there. Okay, first is coke. Now, this is the purest form of carbon. Other forms of carbon are diamond, graphite, etc. Now, this coal is tight, strong, and is of black color. Okay? Its purest form is a very hard substance, okay, in a black color, which is used to extract metals in steel industries. Okay, then we have coal gas. Now, coal gas is formed as a byproduct of purifying coal. We know that when the purification process takes place, at the end of it, or in the last stages of it, we obtain some byproduct from it. That is, some other product is obtained from the purification of the original product, which is also useful to us. Okay, that is the part of the original product, but again, it is generated in the process that we can also use. So, coal gas is such a byproduct of coal. Now, this coal gas is used as a fuel in established industries, right? In like it's used as a fuel gas in some industries. Then there is coal tar. Coal tar is a thick black colored and bad odored liquid. This was earlier used to make roads. Coal tar was earlier used to make roads. This is also used in many industries like plastic, then explosive industries, paint, and photographic material and methylene balls. That's used to keep insects and worms away. Right. So coal tar is used in all of these things. So these were some uses of various components of coal. Okay. Any questions still here? Oh no. Thank you. Let's move forward. Now we have another fossil fuel that is known as petroleum. Now, do you all know that before we use them, the refining process takes place, right? Of all of them, the purification, the refining process is taking right because in their natural form, they are not exactly usable. We need to make that usable. Okay, we need to convert that, refine that in such a form that it becomes usable. Okay, because in the natural form, in its most natural form, it we cannot directly sometimes use it. So refining of petroleum takes place, purification of coal is also taking place. Now, when the refining of petroleum takes place, we get many useful products such as petroleum gases, diesel, petrol, kerosene, paraffin wax, etc. These are used in many industries. Now, these are the byproducts of which are obtained after during the refining of petroleum. Okay, we get diesel, some gases, petroleum gases are there, petrol, and all of them. Now, this oil is found in India in the basins of Godavari and Krishna River, Bombay High, Mumbai, Gujarat, and Assam. Okay, these are the places where petroleum is found.
No.
Okay, yes, Abraham.
um, How can you say Bombay High, Mumbai? How can they say Bombay High and then say Mumbai? Isn't Bombay and Mumbai the same thing?
How can it be Bombay High and Mumbai? I'll look it up, Abraham, if it's the same thing, okay? Or if Bombay High is talking about a particular area of Bombay and then the whole of Mumbai, okay? I'll look it up and I'll let you know, okay? Now, then we also have an important resource that is natural gas. Now, natural gas is found in between many layers of coal and petroleum. It's stored as CNG under high pressure. We know CNG, right? CNG gas is used popularly in like today's time. It's used more often, the CNG gas. Right. So this is an important source of energy and is taken from one place to another with the help of pipes. Pipes are connected, okay. They can be underground pipes as well to take the CNG gas from one place to another. Now, CNG is used in vehicles also because it is a less polluting fuel. Like it causes very less pollution, the CNG gas. So it is also used in vehicles. This means CNG produces less pollution. There are many sources of natural gas in our country. Now, talking about the places where natural gas is found, it's found in Rajasthan, Tripura, Maharashtra, and Godavari Krishna Delta. Okay, these are the places where natural gas sources are there.
Ma'am, another question, ma'am. This
Yes,
gas,
yes.
everything is mostly found in the desert, right? Gas and petroleum,
They can mostly be found in what, Abraham?
the desert regions.
Delta regions.
No, desert,
Yes.
desert.
Desert regions. Desert regions. Some of it are found in desert regions. Yes. Okay. But then they are found in other regions as well.
Now, oil they are sort of on land in Saudi Arabia, like in desert regions like that.
Yes, they are some of them are found in desert regions. Okay, some regions in Rajasthan are also the desert regions. Some places we have desert regions in Rajasthan. So they are found there in those places, and they are found in other regions also, right? It depends.
But another thing, when you're taking this test, do we have to buy out all the names?
Do you have to by heart all the names? You can do like two of it. Okay, if it's asked that where the CNG gas, where the natural gas is found, or what's the places that are sources of natural gas. So if you have questions like that, you should know like two places minimum. Okay, two places means you should know. Okay, now conservation of limited resources. Now, since these natural resources come from nature, okay, we have them in limitation. Okay, we cannot make them by ourselves, right? We cannot keep making them and making them and making them. Okay, so now then because they are produced on their own, and natural resources are like always limited. They are not unlimited that we can use them as much as we want. So because they are limited, we should conserve them. Okay, we should practice conservation of natural resources. Now, natural resources like coal and petroleum, natural gas are available in a fixed amount in nature, and it can end paradies. If we keep on using them without conserving them, they might end one day. Okay? So, these fossil fuels, because these fossil fuels are formed after lakhs of years, therefore, it is necessary to use them judiciously. Burning of coal and petroleum as fuel causes air pollution. These are limited resources which can only last for 100 years. They have given an estimate of these resources that they can last for 100 years. The burning of fossil fuel produces carbon dioxide, which increases the temperature of Earth. Now, fossil fuels, when we burn them, coal and petroleum, if you burn coal and steam, they produce a lot of smoke in the air, a lot of gases, and mainly the main gas is carbon dioxide that they produce. That is also harmful for our environment. So when we are using fuels in our vehicles and in cooking and all of these processes, the heating processes, we should use the fuels which cause lesser pollution, okay, lesser damage or no damage to the environment. Now, these because it's saying that these fossil fuels are limited. Why? Because it takes lakhs and lakhs of years for them to form. When animals die, okay, with the remains of animals, these the process that I explained that due to the climatic pressure and the change of climates, the layers and layers gets accumulated on the top of that dead remains of the animal. Okay, and then it becomes fossil. That process takes thousands and lakhs of years for it to become a fossil fuel. Right, that process takes a lot of time. So the fossil fuels that we have now have already taken lakhs of years back to become these fossil fuels that we are using now. Right. So if all of it is depleted, we'll not have any way to generate the fossil fuels because it is a natural process and it takes a lot of time. That is why we have to think of how to conserve them, how to use them only when it's necessary. Yes, Abraham.
No, I think not generate the fossil fuels is because initially when they made out of an elements, and if you put the right elements in the right amount of things, you get the fossil fuel. You know? Why can you not
If you get
artificial fossil fuel?
artificial fossil fuels, Abraham, artificial fossil fuel, I don't know about that, but yes, the supplements of these fossil fuels, they're trying to find it. Okay, they are trying to find some supplements of coal and petroleum, things which they can use instead of using coal and petroleum. Okay, and then they also are forming things. Okay, when they are forming these things that we can use instead of coal and petroleum, they are also considering its effect on the environment. What level of environmental effect it will have if it's causing more pollution or lesser pollution. Okay, and generation of fossil fuels artificially is a tough process. Okay, it's a hard process to get that right amount of pressure, to get that right amount of climatic conditions and all of that. Okay, so that is a difficult task. But yes, they are finding the supplements like EVs, electric vehicles. Okay, in that electricity is used instead of your diesel and petrol and the fuels in the EVs. Right, so they are finding such measures with which they can use other things instead of the these fossil fuels, these natural resources. Okay. Any other thing that you want to ask? Okay. Now, 19.5 is your homework. Exercise 19.5 is the homework for you all. And with this, we have finished with this chapter. Next up, we have natural resources too, biological resources, that is, living resources. Okay, so I'll give you an intro of this chapter today. We will start it from tomorrow, okay? From tomorrow's class. Now, we talked about all the physical chapter of physical resources in the last chapter. Like I said, this chapter talks about biological resources such as plants with organisms, microorganisms, food chain, and the processes of ecological balance. We all know about the food chain. A food chain.
Yes.
And yes, Anya, what is it?
Food chain is like where the plants which produces its own food is being eaten by something else, which is being eaten by something else, etc.
Yes, that is good, Sunil. That's right. So when the animals or the plants they keep getting eaten up by the other thing, like the deer eats the plant, the lion eats the deer. Okay, so it's a small food chain. It's like that. Okay, so we will talk about food chain in this chapter. We'll talk about what are biological resources, then the main biological resources. We'll talk about a forest. That is also a biological resource because plants are living creatures. So we'll talk about forests. We'll talk about how a forest is important and how it balances the gases in nature, how the balance of gas in nature takes place. We'll talk about the structure of forests, types of trees, then organisms and plant species found in a forest. Then we'll do food chains in forests of autotrophs, and then what's the effect of weather and climate on forests Then we'll talk about the cutting of forests and its harmful effects and conservation of forests. This chapter basically talks about forests, plants, food chains, and animals, that is, all of our biological resources. The ecosystem is a part of our biological resource. Okay, so anything else you want to ask right now? Any doubts? No.
Okay.
Okay,
No.
okay. So let's start with 20.1 biological resources. Now, what are biological resources? Our biological resources include all plants, organisms, microorganisms, etc., found on Earth. Basically, all the living things that together make up an ecosystem, okay, or that are found in our environment are part of our biological resources. Earth is the only planet where life is possible. So we will find some species of life in all places like earth, sky, river, ocean, etc. We know that all of these spaces have life in it. If we talk about sky, it has birds in it. If we talk about the land, it has various animals and various organisms living in the water as well. There is life because there are living organisms in the water as well, the fishes and all. Right. So now the variety of biological resources are found on the basis of various physical regions, climate, land, and food on Earth. If we talk about the classification of the biological resources, it's done on the basis of physical regions, okay? Various types of organisms found on different physical regions. Then, on the basis of climate, organisms that are classified on the basis of the climates of those regions. Then, on the basis of the land, and on the basis of food, okay? On the basis of food, we have done already the types of organisms that we've done on the basis of food. Now, around 87 lakh organisms and species are found on Earth, which include polar bear in polar regions, penguin, camel in desert areas with cactus, camel in desert areas with cactus, fish, tortoise, crocodile, ocean plants in ocean and its coastal areas with crabs, marine forests, leopard, etc. Okay. So we have the in polar regions, we have polar bear and all. Desert areas, we have the cactus plants are there more often because they're adapted to be grown in the desert regions. We have camels because again camels are also adapted in such a way, okay, according to the desert region. Then we have various sea creatures such as fishes, tortoise, crocodile, then ocean plants, and then the coastal areas with crabs and all. Okay, all these organisms are connected to each other with food chain, with a chain known as food chain. If one species is lost, then the balance of many food chain is also lost. Now, all of them are dependent, are related to each other with a food chain. Okay, because they all the nutrition that they will get from eating. The carnivores will get their nutrition from eating another animal. The herbivore will get their nutrition from eating the plants. Okay, and most carnivores eat herbivore animals. So it creates a chain between them, which makes them related to each other. Yes, Simeon has put something. Let me see. Current scientific estimates suggest that there are approximately 96 lakh species, including animals, plants, fungi, and microorganisms. Of these, around 1.8 million have been formally described and catalogued, with the majority being insects. Many species remain undiscovered. Yes. So now the stats have moved to 96 lakhs. Yes, Abraham?
Ma'am, my question is for ma'am. So if mosquitoes go extinct, will it cause trouble to us?
If mosquitoes goes extinct,
Hmm.
will it be a trouble to us?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Um, Mosquitoes, like it's hard to say that mosquitoes will ever be extinct, right?
But
Um,
we almost are on the brink of extinction when people were using chemicals such as I can't remember the name, but they were using chemicals, mosquito sprays. But then after the government banned them, the mosquitoes didn't go extinct. So they were on the brink of extinction.
they were on the brink of extinction. Okay. Let's see, the lifespan of the mosquitoes is very short. In that very short period only, they reproduce, okay, give birth to new mosquitoes, and then they die. So, like the cycle keeps on going on, and because the lifespan of mosquitoes is very short, okay, and in that short period also the new mosquitoes are born, right? And there is very huge numbers of them. Okay, so right now it's like they are not really gonna be extinct anytime soon. The mosquitoes. Insects have a short lifespan.
So if they go extinct, then what happens?
If they are extinct, then what will happen? Then they will not bite you.
No, no, after that, like will it trouble the ecosystem?
Are they related to our ecosystem? They are, yes, they are related to the ecosystem because they are parts of the food chain. Now, some animals, okay, they eat mosquitoes as their food, okay, such as lizards, frogs, okay, such as bats, they eat mosquitoes in the food chain, okay.
But not
Then after that,
they
yes, Abraham,
like moths and they're not dependent only on mosquitoes.
they are not dependent on what?
Only mosquitoes.
They are not dependent on mosquitoes. Some creatures they eat mosquitoes and other insects also. It's not just mosquito that lizard is only eating mosquito. No, they also eat other things, but yes, they also eat the mosquitoes. Then you can say that like the bees, mosquitoes are also sometimes pollinators. Okay, they carry the pollen grains from the flower to another, okay, with which the pollination in the flower takes place. Okay, so they many mosquitoes they also sometimes eat nectar and pollinate the plants. So these are the two roles which are there that mosquitoes engage in, that mosquitoes take a role in. Okay, two things. One is that they are the food of some animals, some small animals. Okay, then the second one is where they do the pollination. Both of these things are there. So that is why we can say that mosquitoes are not entirely useless. They have some roles. Okay, they have some utility. But yes, if they are extinct, then these two things will, I won't say that it will stop because animals can eat other insects also, and the pollination will go on because these will be there. These are not being extinct. Mosquitoes are being extinct. So pollination will also be there. But yes, this is the basically the utility of the mosquito.
So man, if mosquitoes go extinct, then basically we know like there's basically not much of an impact is because other bees and other things can take their place.
These and other things can take that place. Yes, it will not be a major impact
But man,
on
it's
the.
bad for humans.
Can you repeat it?
That will be a major impact for humans.
It will be a major impact for humans. Yes, but how?
First of all, it's the diseases like malaria and dengue is because mosquitoes carry malaria and dengue, and it also stop like getting injuries or mosquito bites.
Yes, ma'am, that is right. So, diseases that are carried by mosquitoes will be stopped if they are completely extinct, such as dengue and malaria. And also, the mosquito bite and all of that will also stop. People like dengue and malaria are serious problems, serious diseases, due to which many people die every year due to dengue even because it has a major impact on our body, our blood platelets, right? So because of that, a lot of people die every year, and when mosquitoes are extinct, then it will not happen. Anything else? Okay, all right. Okay. So if one species is lost, then the balance of many food chains is also lost. Now we will stop here and we'll study about this natural balance. Okay, the start of natural balance in the environment. We'll talk about it in the next. Okay. Okay, then see you tomorrow. All the best for the test today. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Thank you.